Coming up on Valley View News, CSUN students have an Ellie River dress-up party in the bag. Plus,
we can do much better in education.
An Ellie High School is an alternative to traditional education. And
it just taught me to appreciate everything I have.
A Benai soccer player gets a full ride.
Hello and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Scott Gierman.
And I'm Monica Campos.
Attorney General William Barr told members of the House Appropriations Subcommittee he plans on releasing Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report within a week. Barr was on Capitol Hill testifying about the Justice Department's budget when Democratic representatives took the opportunity to ask him questions about the release of the Mueller report. Democrats asked Barr to explain how he is handling the redactions of the report and if Mueller had been given a chance to review the 4-page summary Barr sent to Congress.
On the letter of the 24th, Mr. Mueller's team did not play a role in drafting that document, although we offered him the opportunity to review it before we sent it out, and he declined that. The letter on the 29th, I don't believe that that was reviewed by Mr. Mueller or that they participated in drafting that letter.
The report will include redactions that are color-coded to indicate the reason the information was redacted. Barr declined to say whether he has briefed the White House or allowed the White House to see any of the report.
Hundreds gather in support of Women's History Month and share pieces of art inspired by women. Valley View News reporter Gianni Navarro has more on the story.
In honor of Women's History Month, Art Fanfa presented its second annual Women's Her Story art exhibition. It featured different mediums and live performances by dozens of female artists.
I actually got really interested in working with other artists.
Haley Fanfa created the exhibition. She wanted a place that supports and empowers female artists.
I feel like there's other spaces where artists are completely missed. You don't go in a room because you were listening to the music in the other room, and I really wanted to create a space where every single artist gets equal opportunity and equal exposure.
What started off as a small event soon saw hundreds of people interacting with artists. Artists got a chance to show their art and meet other LA artists. Claire Bashara says shows like this give her the exposure she needs.
I've already met a couple people here like years ago, and it kind of just becomes like this group on social media, and you just like talk about art and hear about art shows, and you just kind of get hooked into this circle of like LA artists.
This exhibition celebrates the best of incredible women artists. They've made her story through their own artistic achievements. The exhibit also wanted non-artists to create their own art. People could also buy any piece that grabbed their fancy.
Oh yes, honey, I love it.
Some people thought it was nice to see artists with new perspectives. They got to see new art before it becomes mainstream. Others say they enjoy the show because of its contagious energy.
Creativity, like, beyond.
The energy is insane.
Her Story Art Exhibition is the place to be if you want to see or showcase all forms of unique art. Reporting from Los Angeles, Gianni Navarro, Valley View News.
A 22-year-old man was shot and killed last night in Koreatown. The LAPD says the shooter confronted a group and asked them where they were from. He then pulled out a gun and shot one of the men. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect is described as a man in his 20s wearing dark clothing.
All tickets are sold out to attend late rapper Nipsey Hussle's memorial service. A post featuring the rapper dressed in all white and wearing angel wings was posted to his official Instagram page, inviting fans to the free service that will be held Thursday at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Nipsey Hussle was shot last month in Los Angeles outside of his clothing store.
3 black churches have been set on fire in less than 2 weeks in South Louisiana. On Sunday, a 4th fire burned down a white church in rural Cato Parish, where the population is 56% white and 41% African American. 7th District Missionary Baptist Association President Freddie Jack says the church was undergoing extensive remodeling, and now it is all gone.
Having fellow pastors who are sister church members of this district to offer the use of the facilities for needs for worship services, weddings, or even funerals, because in spite of the fact that these buildings have been lost, the ministry must continue.
Since the 1950s, black churches in the South have been targets of racist attacks.
The LA River is a great natural resource running through the middle of a great city. Sometimes people take its presence for granted. Keeping the river clean is a way of showing appreciation. Valley View News' Nicholas Logan reports on efforts at CSUN to keep the river clean.
That's the sound of a ney. It's a musical instrument made from a plant called Arundo donax. Arundo donax is an invasive plant plaguing the LA River. To help create a cleaner LA River, CSUN held a day-long event called Future Currents LA River. It focuses on revitalizing the once-neglected river.
You know, the Los Angeles River sometimes gets a bad rap because people think of it as a big concrete channel, but in fact the river is an incredible, mighty force in not only Los Angeles history, but still today. It's still an active river, right?
Besides the invasive Arundo donax, students gathered other materials not native to the river. Plastic, trash, and clothing were collected to be used as outfits and decorations for performances. In the performances, these materials represent a polluted LA River.
What we did is take natural materials out of the river, as well as found objects out of the river, things that we would otherwise think of as trash, and we turned them into useful objects and costumes and props and musical instruments, and we celebrated the river that way.
Some people got to make their own neys. They also decorated trees with ornaments made of sticks, leaves, and branches. Warriors of Change, a CSUN environmental group, was also on hand to raise awareness about the environment.
We're new, and we want to make a difference on campus, definitely.
Yeah, and the event today is actually done by the tree huggers in an art classroom, and they are using materials that you would normally find on the ground, and they're repurposing them and actually making art.
Thor Steingraber and Future Currents LA River have made a lot of progress in just 6 months. The future of LA's river and environment are in good hands if Steingraber, Warriors of Change, and others continue on this path. In Northridge, I'm Nicholas Logan, Valley View News.
New indictments today in the college admissions scandal against Lori Loughlin and 15 others. These charges involve money laundering and fraud. Loughlin and her husband could face a minimum of 2 years in prison if they accept a plea deal given to them by prosecutors. The couple is accused of paying over $500,000 in bribes to get their daughters into USC. Also tied to the scandal is former Desperate Housewives star Felicity Huffman, who announced Monday she would plead guilty to her role in the scheme. Huffman paid $15,000 to alter the results of her daughter's SAT scores. She could serve as little as 4 months in jail.
For some students in Los Angeles school districts, so-called continuation schools are the best educational alternatives for hundreds of high schoolers. Valley View's Monica Villacorte has more on the story.
Amelia Earhart High School is one of 39 continuation high schools still active in the Los Angeles Unified School District. Continuations, as they're called, are an alternative high school diploma program for students 16 or older. Most students seek continuations after falling behind in credits at normal high schools.
There are always students that seem to fall through the cracks. There are always those kids that just need that extra, personalized attention. They just need that second chance.
And put your folders where they go, please. And bring my work and put it in this folder.
Most students are still required to complete the traditional 210 credits to graduate. The diploma is the same as any other district high school. Students seek out schools like Earhart for a range of reasons, like flexible hours or personal matters.
My 9th grade year, I had an accident which I fell off a car and I cracked my skull in the back, and that I didn't go to school for half a semester because I was too busy in the hospital.
Los Angeles teachers recently went on strike for higher wages, more resources, and smaller classes. LAUSD is the second largest district in the nation. It has more than 600,000 students. But meanwhile, Earhart's small classes are essential to its rising graduation rates.
We can do much better in education. Much, much better. We can do this. This is doable. It's not even expensive. It's just changing our mindset.
Budget cuts often threaten small schools. In the past, the district has tried to close down Earhart, but after many letters from the community, they decided not to. This is Monica Villacorta reporting from North Hollywood.
CSUN sophomore shooting guard Destiny Brooks is transferring. Brooks tweeted yesterday that she entered the transfer portal. The tweet showed video of her top plays during her 2 seasons as a Matador. Coach Jason Flowers was unavailable for comment, but he released a statement saying Brooks wanted to be closer to home and he wishes her the best. Brooks' career average is 5.2 points per game, and she's remembered most for her performance in the first round of the NCAA tournament against the eventual champion Notre Dame. In that game, she scored a career-high 24 points. Brooks tied the CSUN record by making 8 3-pointers against the Fighting Irish.
Plenty of parents want their children to get into an Ivy League school. Valley View Ethan Hansen reports on the local athlete, who has great grades, soccer talent, and an entrance to Cornell.
Birmingham forward Noel Ortega has never taken the easy road to success. A path forged through endless hours of dedication on the field and in the classroom. This season, Ortega scored 25 goals and racked up 14 assists for Birmingham while maintaining a 3.5 grade point average. It was good enough to earn him a scholarship to Cornell University.
Said with all the emotions that have been going on like these past couple months, it just taught me to appreciate everything I have and just make the best out of everything that I have right now and as I move forward in life.
Birmingham coach E.B. Madhoff first saw Ortega as a freshman.
It just shows the maturity level that Noel has and the focus that he has, determination. And, you know, he's such a humble kid on top of all that. He just does his job wherever he's at, and that just speaks volumes about his character.
Ortega began playing soccer in elementary school when he met Julia Vigueras. This season, Vigueras was named co-captain with Ortega.
I never thought we'd make this far. Now we're seniors, have our first classes, and now we're both captains on this team, and we're helping each other out.
The work by Ortega and his team culminated in Birmingham winning the CIF LA City section title. It was done while keeping his grades up and maintaining a part-time job at In-N-Out to support his family.
Trae desde pequeño, desde prekinder, él siempre sobresalió.
Since preschool, he has been very disciplined, dedicated, and studious.
Muy atento y muy disciplinado.
No matter what life throws at him, Ortega always keeps his balance through school, work, and on the soccer pitch. He scores both on and off the field. From Birmingham High School in Van Nuys, I'm Ethan Hansen, Valley View News.
Here's Valley View's Eric Gabriel with entertainment. Eric?
Thank you, Scott. On April 17th, Beyoncé is dropping a documentary about her historic performance at the 2018 Coachella Festival, where she paid tribute to African-American colleges and universities. Netflix tweeted a picture on Sunday with the title Homecoming. The concert documentary reportedly shows behind-the-scenes footage, interviews, and rehearsals. Beyoncé became the first African-American woman to headline the festival. She opened her show with her first hit single, Crazy in Love. The new Avengers film is flying into theaters in less than 3 weeks. A direct sequel to Avengers Infinity War, the film is expected to bring in over $200 million domestically, but some fans are wondering if the film could hit the $300 million mark. After 21 films, the end of an era is upon us with Avengers Endgame. Starting in 2008 with the film Iron Man, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has become a powerhouse. Infinity War currently holds the record for biggest domestic opening with $257 million in 2018. The new Avengers movie runs 3 hours and 1 minute, the longest of any Marvel film. Avengers Endgame debuts April 26th. Add game show producer to Deadpool's list of things he could do. ABC has picked up Ryan Reynolds' new original game show, Don't. Each episode will follow a family of 4 as it participates in a game of do not. Families might be told don't laugh or don't make demands. If a family loses a challenge, one member will be eliminated until only one is left. The last remaining member will compete alone. Whatever money the family has earned by the end, they get to keep. Reynolds is best known for his acting in films like Deadpool and the upcoming Pokemon Detective Pikachu. That's all your entertainment news. Let's go back to Scott and Monica.
More to come on Valley View News. Israel is in election mode.
And New York City has issued a public health emergency amid a measles outbreak. Let's get the latest in international news from Claire Hambrick in our Digital Media Center.
A roadside bomb in Afghanistan killed 3 U.S. service members and 1 contractor. 3 others were wounded. Days earlier, twin explosions killed 3 people in the eastern city of Jalalabad. So far, 7 GIs have died this year in Afghanistan. Earlier this year, the U.S. sent an envoy to the region to broker an end to the 17-year conflict. The polls are now closed in Israel, and early returns are showing the parliamentary elections are too close to call. This election will either keep Benjamin Netanyahu, who has been the prime minister for 10 years, or his control will be turned over to his main rival, former military officer Benny Gantz. Both are claiming early victory. Early analysis shows Arab voters were not going to the polls in great numbers. The historically low turnout may be because Netanyahu's Likud party sent more than 1,000 activists with cameras into polling places in Arab towns, apparently as an intimidation tactic. The country has 6.3 million eligible voters and over 1,700 polling stations across the country. Authorities in Singapore have seized the largest ever shipment of pangolin scales. Pangolins are cat-sized covered in scales and one of the most trafficked animals in the world. Customs officials found 14 tons of pangolin scales in a 40-foot container labeled as frozen beef. The shipment was on its way to Vietnam. It's estimated to be worth $40 million. In China and Vietnam, pangolin scales are eaten as a delicacy and used in traditional medicine. President Trump's efforts to force asylum seekers to wait in Mexico while their cases proceed have been blocked by a judge. Immigration advocates have called this practice inhumane and illegal. Judge Richard Seaberg ruled yesterday that existing law did not give the president the power to enforce the policy known as migrant protection protocols. That's all for international news. Back to you in the studio.
There are a number of important health stories in the news. Tia Dunbar joins us with the details.
New York City's Mayor Bill de Blasio has declared a public health emergency following a measles outbreak in Williamsburg. The mayor says residents who fail to get vaccinated will have to pay $1,000 fine. He says the measles vaccine will be free for those who can't pay for it.
And to give you a sense of what troubling development this is, it's a huge spike. We saw only 2 cases in New York City in 2017. So we have a very serious situation on our hands.
There have been 285 cases in Brooklyn and Queens since last October, most of them in the ultra-Orthodox Jewish community. One rabbi says Jewish law does not prohibit vaccines, but many in that community are reluctant to get them. CSUN students had the chance to learn about the food stamps program today. The Department of Public Social Services outreach team is visiting several campuses. They are helping students with enrollment into the CalFresh program on the spot. CSUN is one of 40 California universities participating in the CalFresh program. The program helps low-income individuals and families. Frank Carmargo, who works for DPSS, says students can use the program to buy their food.
We are working with the colleges to bring awareness to the students about the program CalFresh. CalFresh is formerly known as food stamps. So we're trying to make them aware if they do qualify for the program that they can take an application. We can do an application right on site.
A study done by the California State University System says 41% of CSU students experience food insecurity, meaning these students don't have access to affordable food. CalFresh Awareness Month is in May. The number of children and teens visiting emergency rooms because of suicidal thoughts and attempts is on the rise. The CDC says that number doubled between 2007 and 2015. There are several reasons why these cases have gone up. Some of them, depression, bullying on social media, and isolation. The CDC says about 15% of high schoolers report they have been bullied in the past year. A Pew Research Center survey found the number could be even higher than what the CDC reports. A deadly and spreading fungus is causing a global health threat. The drug-resistant fungus, Candida auris, has been found in several healthcare facilities. The fungus affects people who have weak immune systems by infecting their bloodstream, heart, and brain. People who have breathing and feeding tubes seem to be at the highest risk. Infectious disease specialists say the fungus is resistant to typical cleaning supplies, and facilities need to change their sanitation methods. CDC officials confirmed nearly 600 cases, mostly in New York and Chicago. The rare disease first appeared in the U.S. in 2016. That's the latest in health news. Back to you guys.
Coming up on Valley View News, grains of sand were covered with golden strands of fur when Coachella took over Huntington Beach.
Also, planning your trip to Coachella, you might want to think about carpooling. Stay with us.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Get ready to spend more money to fill up your tank. Here's Luisa Rodriguez with social media, tech, and business news.
Gas prices are going up, especially in Southern California. Drivers at a 76 station in Northridge say high prices are affecting their commute.
It takes a lot, but as long as I can drive with someone else or someone helps me with the gas, then it makes it a little bit easier.
GasBuddy.com blames refinery outages for reducing supply. Southern California began to see price increase last week, 54 cents over last month. The average price of a gallon of gas in LA and Long Beach is $3.89, compared to the national average of $2.74. AAA suggests increasing fuel efficiency by driving slower and using your air conditioning. Today's air conditioners are more efficient than having the windows open, which creates drag on the engine. 3 women sexually assaulted by fake Uber driver are suing the company. They say Uber did not do enough to warn them about fake drivers. The app includes the license number, car make, and name of the driver, but the suit adds this is not enough information to help drunk people know if they are in the right car. An Uber representative did not comment on the lawsuit. Democrats are requesting 6 years of President Trump's tax returns. House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Richard Neal asked for Trump's income report and those from his businesses. In the hearing, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says Democrats should be glad Republicans did not seek tax returns.
These presidents released their returns on a voluntary basis. I'm not aware of that there's any law that required them to.
Trump has promised to release his tax returns once an audit is done by the IRS. Facebook and Google reps are on Capitol Hill facing lawmakers' criticism about their platforms. Georgia Democrat Hank Johnson says the platforms make it too easy to spread violent ideologies.
WhatsApp does not have a way of tracking or preventing the spread of videos like the New Zealand video. What's Facebook doing to fix this issue and prevent WhatsApp from being used to spread hate speech?
The House Judiciary Committee called the hearing after the New Zealand terrorist attack video live streamed on Facebook. Google's also taking the heat for its online research being easily accessible to hateful ideologies. The committee says the hearing should encourage new ideas to control the spread of white nationalist propaganda and hate speech online. But YouTube has had to disable the comments appearing on its live stream just an hour into the hearing. The live stream was flooded with racist and anti-Semitic comments. Google and YouTube already have some policies in place to prevent the incitement of violence on their platforms. That's it for social media, tech, and business news. Monica and Scott, back to you.
Huntington Beach has gone to the dogs. That would be corgi dogs, the special little breed loved by so many. Valley View News, Kimberly Silverio has more.
Great job, man!
Corgi dogs are known for chunky paws, fluffy bodies, and big butts. Huntington Beach hosted a Corgi Beach Day. The theme is Coachella, or rather, Corkjella. More than 12,000 people brought their furry little dogs dressed in costumes. Adam Rose dressed his Corgi, Ozzy, with the sombrero.
So far, it's just great seeing all the other Corgis and everything. You know, you don't see a lot of Corgis out there. So coming to a place where there's a whole bunch of them is a great time.
Not only California residents attended, Anna Todd drove from Arizona with her 11-month-old Corgi named Doug. This is her first time here. She says they enjoyed every bit of it.
He gets a chance to play with so many other Corgis, just meeting other Corgi parents. It's been super fun.
People got to take part in games like Limbo and the Biggest Butt contest.
He's got that little strut down.
And this twerking Corgi was the winner. Dan McLemore started Corgi Beach Day. He says he's happy with the event's success and the friends he's made.
Oh my gosh, I'm beyond ecstatic. Corgi Beach Day has grown to something only in my wildest dreams, and like I said, I could not be more happy.
In case if you missed this event, Corgi Nationals will happen in Santa Anita Park on May 26th. Reporting from Huntington Beach, for Valley View News, this is Kimberly Silverio with my friend Bella.
That's all for us at Valley View News. Thank you for watching. I'm Scott Gierman.
And I'm Monica Campos. For news any time of the day, go to our website, sundial.csun.edu. See you next week.